Okay, well, a little bit of a different video here today. We're gonna discuss and go through and talk about the worthiness of the Neil Young Archives 3 that just got announced a few days ago. As a subscriber to the Neil Young Archives, it was like a 1 day early advance opportunity. I had to pre-order it, and I just thought we'd discuss it. One thing you may not know is I have another channel. Well, I've had another channel since 2020, since before this channel even started, called Quarantine Hearts, in which me and my son, during quarantine 2020, we went through every single Neil Young album and we discussed it. We gave it a rating. We went through the whole thing, every single proper album. We since did the Velvet Underground albums, and now we're kind of working on the Sonic Youth. But Neil Young has always been an all-time favorite artist of mine. I wouldn't call myself quite a completist because there's those some records you certainly don't need, but I'm close to it. And my son loves Neil Young, and it's been sort of a cool thing. So, yeah, we'll get into it. I think the thing is that Neil Young's been working on this for a couple of years, and the archives are part of his archival series, and these are sort of like the mother lode, sort of the giant dumps, you'll say, of archival material, which Neil Young has always been a big part of what he does. He's, since the very early days, he's kept good records. He's kept the recordings. He's kept ephemera. He's kept lots of details. And obviously, as he's gotten more well known and a little bit more financially sort of wealthy as an artist and a successful artist, he's had a whole team of people help him. So Neil Young Archives 3 is going to be coming out September 6th. Oh, let me grab my notes. I was supposed to have that ready. And I just thought we'd go over it together and discuss whether you think it makes sense to order, whether I'm ordering it, and just tell you what's in there in case you're interested. Here is Neil Young Archives 1. Now, you might be wondering why it looks just like this. Well, this is Neil Young Archives 2, and this is what the third one is going to come in, this kind of giant wine box. Now, you're wondering, hey, didn't the first one come out in that? And it did. I actually threw it away. I was so frustrated by the packaging. Something I've never done is, as a collector, is thrown away anything, but I did. I was moving out of New York City, out of Brooklyn at the time, and I was like, you know what? Screw you, Neil, in this box. But the first one came out as Blu-rays, DVDs, and CDs. And these are primarily a CD. There's no vinyl really on these for the most part. So they come in, like that. And each CD is like, this is the first one. There's like a different title with unique artwork, early years. Just to give you an idea. Now this is the Blu-ray edition. Live at the Riverboat 1969. This covered 1969 to, I think, 72 or 71. No, it was 72. North Country. So this covered that crucial early period, from including pre-Neil Young solo, Buffalo Springfield, his pre-Neil Young band, which I'm slipping on all of a sudden. Pre-Buffalo Springfield band, that is, the Counts, I'm forgetting. And then Volume 2 came out in 2020, which my son and I reviewed on our channel. My son really manages that channel now. He's 13, so if you write a comment on that channel, it's going to be him responding. But there is a video to this, and I'll link to that channel in this video. But this is how the first volume came, and inside the wine box you had the CDs, and there's the booklet. I still have the booklet for the first one. What was frustrating about the first one is that you had to you could have ordered Blu-ray, DVD, or CD. And I got kind of duped into buying the Blu-ray. Now, at that time, I worked for Warner Electro Atlantic, so I got like a special price on this. And the Blu-ray was what Neil was encouraging, was like the best way to listen to it. And the CD edition was only like, I think $80. The Blu-rays and DVDs was pretty expensive. I think around $200. For this set, Volume 2, which is amazing. I absolutely love. Now, if you don't know, you're getting alternate takes, you're getting unreleased songs, you're getting some of it. You're getting the full albums that were supposed to come out. Like, for instance, they put Homegrown in here. And I think, what's the other? There's one other. This is volume 2 I'm showing you now. Like, at the Roxy, this was a LP release. And there's one other one. Yeah, the Tuscaloosa. This was an LP release. But otherwise, you're getting all these other things with new songs, like early takes, rock takes of folk songs, takes of rock songs, and it's an incredible set. So Volume 3 will be coming out September 6th, and the price is significantly different. Volume 2, I think I looked it up. I looked up my price. I paid $250 for that. Volume 3, the deluxe edition, CD and Blu-ray now. There's a big difference. Is $450. Okay. Now, on Volume 2, there are 10 CDs. Volume 3, what's coming out? There are 17 CDs and 5 Blu-rays. So you're getting a lot. I'm sorry, I think it's more than 5 Blu-rays. Well, we'll go into. We're going to go through the track list together. I'm going to share our screen, but so it is a lot more that you're getting, and it covers the years 1976 to 1987. So you're getting into that Neil Young, difficult period. But being that we love Volume 2 so much, obviously we were interested to discuss Volume 3. So I'll give you the nuts and bolts of it, and then we'll look into the specific track list together as I share a screen. 17 CDs, including a bonus CD for pre-orders, which is a version of the takes. I'm going to show you what the takes is. But 17 CDs, 199 tracks total, 15 brand new compositions. These are brand new songs, not heard earlier versions anywhere. So that's interesting. One of those he already released. 109 unreleased versions. Out of those 109, 26 are unreleased first versions. So these are the first recording of a song that you may know from somewhere else later. So if that makes sense. Some of that is a lot different mixes, different cuts, but a lot of it, 109 unreleased versions are alternate versions of what you're used to. And then within those 199, 75 songs are previously released, whether it's through actual albums. Yes, there's actual album tracks from the albums that were released years and years ago, plus other ones that are tracks that were released since some of the archival editions that we already have. And then there's 11 films across 5 Blu-rays, and I guess 4 of these films are completely unreleased, and the other ones are like you can't really get them. You have to be a premium subscriber on Neil Young's site to see them. So with that, I'm going to share a screen, and we're going to look through the official web store, the Greedy Hand, as it's known, where you can pre-order these things. Here it is, the deluxe edition, $449. Now wait, before I get into that, you also see that you can order the CD edition only, no Blu-rays, for $239. And there's also this, which they've never done before in the same way. This is a 2 LP sort of like compilation, sort of primer for what this is, and you get a bunch of unreleased songs, and you get unreleased versions. This is the track list for that, so you can see unreleased version, unreleased live version, Drive Back, Hitchhiking Judy, something from, I'll talk about that in a second. There's a version of Comes a Time, unreleased version. Here's one unreleased song, Lady Wingshot. Hey Hey My My, that looks like that's the proper version of that, the live version. This is the song that was released like a few days ago, and then you have this one, unreleased song. So anyway, and then more unreleased live originals. So that's the takes. For people who don't want to buy this goddamn giant CD box set and the Blu-rays for all this money, you might want to get this for $35. If you care at all, that is. But this is what we're talking about. 5,000 copies. Now, here's the free 16-track sampler. You get the CD version of that takes thing I just showed you. And a pin. What a great thing, a pin. And I love this. Here they are encouraging you to use PayPal Pay Later. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we know about PayPal Pay Later, guys. Thanks, Neil. Anyway, we're going to take a quick browse through the track list. This is what gives you a lot of the information I just told you. Let's just go right to the track list. So again, this is covering 76 to 87. This is in the period just post the Ditch trilogy, right around the time of Comes a Time, and American Stars and Bars, and right before, the Rust Never Sleeps and all that. So Disc 1, Across the Water, I think this one and Disc 2 are both unreleased Neil Young and Crazy Horse live albums. I wonder if we'll see some of this on vinyl. I don't know. So you can see here all the different versions. All this is unreleased live, all unreleased live. And so it's a lot of the songs that you'll know, Southern Man, Cortez the Killer. Some other ones that are sort of like you don't see as much live, like Country Home maybe is probably one you don't hear too often. Needle and Damage Done, we've seen that turn up. String Man was an interesting one. That one was unreleased, but ended up turning up on the MTV Unplugged. Anyway, so that's Neil Young and Crazy Horse, unreleased live recording 76. That's the first two discs. Disc 3, this one's a bit of a It's essentially the Songs for Judy archival release and the Hitchhiker archival release together. I don't know why. I think it's just because chronologically it makes sense. You have these raps. I guess it's him talking in between or talking to the studio manager, the engineer. You have Helpless from the Last Waltz is on here. And then, Lost in Space, previously unreleased original. So interesting. Will to Love turns up again, which has been, as you can see, on American Stars and Bars and Chrome Dreams. Which Chrome Dreams, I was surprised, didn't turn up as a CD here, which was almost a good thing. Anyway, a lot of this is the Hitchhiker and Songs for Judy. Disc 4, Neil Young with Nicolette Larson and Linda Ronstadt. This is kind of interesting. It's what it looks like are unreleased versions of these songs with those two singers, Larson and Ronstadt. You may recognize some of these songs: Saddle Up to Palomino, Star of Bethlehem. I believe these are all unreleased versions, not songs. So there you have that. The Ducks album. I did not care for this. I didn't buy it. It's the live archival release that he did. I'm forgetting who was in this with him, but it was something he was doing for like a summer. So it looks like it's a lot of those releases with a couple of unreleased. Here's an unreleased original, actually. So that's an unreleased Ducks song. Some of you are like, what the hell's the Ducks? I know. Disc 6, Oceanside Countryside. This is interesting because this is an album that was apparently supposed to be an album like Chrome Dreams, 1977. I think this was going to come after that. It was an album he scrapped. So here we have unreleased mix on versions of Dance, Dance, Dance. It might have been. Here's Pocahontas, which would have come through from, I think, Hitchhiker. And he put it here. He didn't use it here. All unreleased mixes except for Lost in Space, which would end up on Hawks and Doves. So I think these were songs, including Human Highway, that were supposed to be on this album called Oceanside Countryside. Okay, disc 7. Another thing with Nicolette Larson, which is interesting. A live album, it looks like. You can see we do have a version of Heart of Gold here. Love Art Blues, which was on, that was a Archives 2 song that was new to that song, or an Archives 2 track. And you can see here, like Motorcycle Mama, a track from Comes a Time. Here's another unreleased song, We're Having Some Fun Now. So, an interesting one there. Boarding House 1 and 2. These are the stuff with, well, first one is Neil Young live with a bunch of songs, 1978. This is going to be right around Rust Never Sleeps. And the second one, disc 9, is with Devo. So these are those, you may have heard that Devo and Neil Young did some live touring together. These are those recordings, I guess. Like I said, none of this stuff has been explained. You have the track list and that's it. So that could be cool. Sedan Delivery, Neil Young with Crazy Horse. This is, okay, here's another one that might be a throwaway because you're just getting Rust Never Sleeps and live Rust songs here. Along with, nope, that's actually everything that it is. So these are all previously released tracks. Why this one like this, I'm not totally sure. We need Neil on that. 1980, 1981. Now you're getting to like the Reactor album and Hawks and Doves. Previously released tracks, again, except for this one, Sunny Inside and Get Up. Two previously unreleased songs. And actually, Sunny Inside must appear later on. I don't remember what that's on, but this is the first version of that. And Get Up, that would be a brand new song never heard before. And then we get the trans stuff. Johnny's Island was an album that I think was a very early idea for an album. It came right around the time of trans, obviously. So here we have a lot of trans tracks, an unreleased song, Johnny. Another one, Island in the Sun. This stuff was supposed to be on this album that was going to come before Trans, and I think he scrapped to do Trans, which was going to be apparently something similar to what he had done, and then he got into doing the vocoder stuff. But so this is an interesting disc. We have a previously unreleased song here, Big Pearl, Raining in Paradise, and then these unreleased versions of Silver and Gold, If You Got Love, and another one, Love Hotel, as well as this early take of Soul of a Woman, which I don't remember what that's from. Okay, so this is a cool one. We have a Trans-related, which I do like Trans. Disc 13, Evolution. What was the... Okay, so here's more maybe throwaways, but we do have unreleased songs, unreleased originals, or these are mostly unreleased original early, first takes and unreleased versions, with the exception of these Everybody's Rockin' songs, and that's the Rockabilly album, Neil Young and the Pinks, or the Shocking Pinks. So that's that era. That could be interesting. Disc 14 is the stuff with the International Harvesters. Was like his sort of bluegrass and country archival release called The Treasure. So we're getting a lot of that material with some unreleased takes from that band. Touch the Night. This is a Crazy Horse. Some live and unreleased songs. So Tired, Rock, and Your Love. Interesting one there. Road of Plenty. This is some Landing on Water era stuff. Could be a problem. Landing on Water, not a good album. That's the one with the white cover with the airplane on the front. Has one good song on it, I will say that. Summer Songs. This I don't know what this is other than it looks like For the Love of Man's a good song. American Dream, that must be what comes up on the American Dream album, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Not a good album. So this looks interesting. Probably 1987. Hopefully it doesn't sound too dated. So that's the 17 discs. The Blu-rays, Across the Water. This is a live release, I believe. Boarding House. That's I think Crazy Neil Young and Crazy Horse. Rust Never Sleeps, of course, you know that. These are Blu-ray films that are hard to find. Human Highway may be the highlight. That's the Neil Young's directorial debut, a feature-length kind of movie with Devo in it. The Trans tour film, Berlin, is I think the European version of the Trans tour film, I believe. Then you have Solo Trans. Okay, Catalyst. I forget what that is. That might be, I forget. A Treasure again is that International Harvesters. In a Rusted Out Garage, I think is Neil Young, Crazy Horse, and Muddy Truck is supposed to be really cool. That's all about their tour from that time. So, and this is the Take CD that you get. That's all of it. A lot of interesting stuff. And so, I don't know. Maybe this seems like a no-brainer for Neil Young superfans. Maybe for a lot of you, this is like ridiculous. You're probably wondering, did I pre-order it? Yes, we did. Now, I did that because me and my son, it's sort of like a cool thing we did years ago. And obviously there's some nostalgia involved in that. So he was immediately, because at first I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get it. And he was like, how can you not get it? Like, we got to go through it and listen to all these versions. We got to do a video. So he kind of suckered me into it a little bit. I am paying for it later. I am using that feature. But yeah, it's going to come again, like in something like this. This is the second volume. So I do look forward to seeing it. It's probably, I do enjoy it in the CD format. This is not something I think I need on vinyl. I would never buy some insane vinyl edition of this. But I think there'll be a lot to enjoy on it. So I am looking forward to it. That's about it. Yeah, check it out. You can find the links, I'm sure. I'm sure you can figure out where to find it. It is exclusively through Neil Young and the Greedy Hand web store. I don't think... actually, I'm not sure. The Takes LP and maybe the CD edition you'll be able to get from distributors. But the deluxe one, no. I think you have to go through the Neil Young Archives website. So I think I got everything on that. I'm curious what everyone thinks on this. Like I said, I am a almost completist on Neil Young, so I kind of have to. Well, I don't have to. I was actually thinking about passing, as I said, but we'll go with it. And actually, these two editions have gone up in value. Of course, this I got rid of the box for, so I can't really sell that. But the volume 2, I think you can see the original edition. There's 2 editions of that. There's a repress actually. That's the first edition. Has gone up in value. If that helps you decide, like, oh, maybe I can resell this. with a $450 price tag, I can't imagine it's going to be going up too much in value, but they are making 5,000 of them. So anyway, it should be fun. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope that was somewhat illuminating and informative for our pal Neil. Let me know what you think, and I'll be back with a real video. No, a different kind of video like you're used to very soon. Take care.